Well, 3 wins were all that separated Holy Trinity from an elusive Class A state volleyball title in Iowa, but the Lady Crusaders would have to run a fierce gauntlet of opponents to get there, starting with the day's quarterfinal against the defending state runner-up. That would be Janesville. Holy Trinity showing up en masse today. Everybody all excited in a Twitter for this big volleyball game. Holy Trinity would come out very strong in the first game. Unfortunately, so too would Janesville. Big crowd, as I mentioned, and a big showing by the fab freshman Michaela Fecky. She was not too big, or too small, I should say, for the big stage today. We will start you off with Michaela throwing down with force to force a side out right here for her team. It was just like this all day long for Miss Fecky. Absolutely brilliant was the big freshman. Look at her right here, again going cross court this time for another side out as her team seized an early lead, and then it would be the serving of Miss Emily Lewis right here with the service ace. However, Holy Trinity would give up a big run of about 4 points. That was as big as the run would get in this game because it was tightly contested throughout. Trailing 13-9, Lindsay Reinhardt trying to bring her team back. This is an excellent swing for her, but Holy Trinity would lose the first game by the count of 25-23. Second game would start off much better for the Lady Crusaders, and it would start again with Michaela Fecky, who had 27 kills on the day, including one to come right here as she finishes off her own handiwork. Holy Trinity would win game number 2, 26-24, but the second 2 games, or actually games 3 and 4, would get away from the Lady Crusaders, and their season comes to an end as they lose in 4 to a very good Janesville team today in the quarterfinals. As we said, 3-1. Holy Trinity bows out at 46-3 on the season. Well, it's a football game so big we're devoting 2 nights to you to break it down. The countdown to WIVC Armageddon is on. Brown County versus Triopia, round 2, and tonight we eyeball the showdown through a powder blue prism.
Safety. Oh, excited. It's going to be great. Everyone around here is going to be there. It's the biggest game around here. I mean, you can't live for anything better than this. This is the best high school game we're ever going to play in.
Triopia may well have won the regular season meeting and vanquished some of their long-standing Hornet demons along the way. But to hear the Trojans tell it, they still feel like they're the team with something to prove on Saturday.
Well, that first matchup, we didn't play our best football, probably one of our worst games of the year, so we're looking to play a little better, and we like our chances in the game.
Oh, it was a back and forth game. They played great. We played decent. They just came out and they executed well, and it was back and forth until the very end. And we put a drive together with 2 minutes to go in the game, and somehow it happened.
As close as that game was last time, it's kind of hard to say, well, it's hard to beat a team twice because they almost beat us. I mean, it was so close. And I'm sure they're wanting the revenge factor. But I think our kids feel like they didn't play their best game at Brown County, and probably neither team did week 3. So I think you're looking at 2 very probably improved ball clubs that they know what's at stake, and it's just going to be a heck of a dogfight.
To some degree, Saturday's quarterfinal may boil down to being a chess match between 2 of the best small school defensive coordinators in the state, Brown County's Eric Grady and Triopia's Andy Phelps. The latter may be at the very height of his powers right now. Only one team this season has reached double-digit scoring against the Triopia defense. You guessed it, Brown County in week 3. And the Trojans haven't allowed a single point against in their last 12 quarters, and just 6 points against in the last 19 they've played. Perhaps the ideal recipe to keep Alex Shepard and Rick Logston at bay from making big plays against this red-hot Trojan defense.
You know, I think at the beginning of the season there was some people out there who weren't sure about how good our defense was going to be this year. But I think after these past couple of playoff games, we've really came out and shown how good of a defensive squad we are. I'm thinking, we're erasing some doubts that people might have had of our defense by coming out and shutting the first 2 teams out in the playoffs, because there were they were both really good teams. We're out in Gibson City, but I mean, that was a really big accomplishment for us defensively.
Both teams are playing very good defense right now. We're on quite a shutout roll right now, and if we can keep flying around defensively, I think that's important. But just taking care of the football and doing little things, and the special teams will be a huge factor. We're on a big roll on confidence right now. I think since that Brown County game, our team has grown up by leaps and bounds. I think that was the hurdle to get over, for them to believe in themselves 100%. I think up to that point it was, we think we're pretty good, but we're not sure. Can we get over this hurdle? And since that time, it seemed like every week we just seem to be getting a little better, especially on the defensive side. And our kids have fantastic confidence right now going the way they're playing defense.
I have a lot of respect for Brown County. I mean, they're just a good, hard-nosed football team. We basically run like the same stuff, physical, and I'm really looking forward to this game.
And tomorrow night we give this rivalry the Brown County treatment. We'll also talk to the now Mohawk Tamara Bluffs. Kelly Sears for Macomb's big showdown with Tolono Unity. Couple of soccer scores to pass along. Good news all the way around for HLGU. Hannibal LaGrange's women win the conference tournament today 2-1 in overtime. And the men advance through the semifinals with a 4-0 win over William Woods. Also one women's basketball score to pass along tonight. Southeastern Community College 103 over William Penn JV 59. We'll have more news after this.